Hello everybody and welcome back to Mikey's Creepy Cottage, my second entry of the Terror 20 of October. So originally this was supposed to be like my recommendations for the 20 horror pieces of media for Halloween, but because I'm trying to do new stuff, I'm finding out that some of these aren't actually recommendations, but just horror media that I've been consuming. So yes, let's get started. Coming up first is Beezel. That's Beezel. This is a pretty dope movie that will be on Shudder soon, I believe, but I got it on demand. It's about a witch and a witch that lives in the cellar and kind of does its little witchy thing, but it's not like a typical like, oh, she's so pretty, oh, she's seducing people, not seducing. And it's actually pretty creepy. She's not pretty. She's not seductive. She is what you would think of as like the crone in the fairy tales. And there's some decent gore. There's pretty intense kills. Only thing lacking is it lacks a little bit of a narrative, but by the time the movie's over, you're still satisfied and you're like, oh, that was a fun ride. Next, VHS Beyond. Now, guys, don't hate me, because I know a lot of y'all liked it. I did not. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi. I'm not a huge fan of aliens. I don't think aliens are creepy, but I decided to give it a go because I was seeing really promising things being said about it online. And, you know, anthologies are fun, but the first entry was great. I was really excited to see Katie Siegel, I get them confused, between Married with Children mom and Mike Flanagan, star of most of his things. Love them both, but they are very different people. So I was excited to see her directorial debut with one of these, but essentially they all just kind of fell flat. I'm not saying they're bad, I just didn't like them. You know, one of them, I don't want to spoil anything, but one of them is basically two movies put together, and it's directed by the person that was in both of these movies. So if you can put that together, then you know which one I'm talking about. But sure, watch it. It's on Shudder. The next entry on Screambox is Creeping Death. This one on the list is the traditional Halloween independent film that's released every year. This one, it was okay. I was a little bored, but the effects are really cool and it was shot well. But everything else just kind of just fell flat. It's the typical group of kids getting hunted by an entity, but the lore was kind of strange. I don't know. Sure, watch that one too. The next one on my list is a new anime on Netflix, and they only have one episode out. It's about 30 minutes, so not much to lose. But it's called DanDaDan. 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 It's pretty cool. If you ever saw, I think it's called Ghost Stories or whatever that crazy anime was called. It was very similar. Popular pretty girl believes in ghosts. Nerd guy believes in sci-fi stuff like aliens, and she sticks up for him one day, and they kind of have a discussion of, well, ghosts are real, but aliens aren't. And he's like, well, aliens are real, ghosts aren't. Don't be dumb. And so they trick each other, or they they dare each other to go into two separate locations where both are famous for alien and ghost activity, and they do, and spooky stuff happens. It is an anime. It's an adult anime, so there is a lot of like uncomfortable focusing on parts of high schoolers that is typically seen in anime. If you can get past that, it's funny, it's entertaining. I look forward to more episodes. Yeah. Last but not least, I included a book. I don't know why I keep giving Stephen King a chance. And I understand. Our parents loved him. I have a theory that as the generations go on, our attention spans decrease, which is why most people my age have a similar issue with Stephen King and the wordiness and how long it takes to get to the point. Not saying there aren't people my age that like him. I'm sure there are. He's great. He's a titan in the horror community. Much respect to him. Great storyteller. Not my favorite author. And now you have kids that just like 10-second videos on TikTok. So maybe my theory is right. Who knows? But I finished Salem's Lot. so I could watch Salem's Lot, both of them, because I haven't seen them. And it had its ups and downs. Towards the end, I was pulling my hair out and I was like, hurry up and end. But not creepy, really. It was a typical, there was too many, and this is kind of what was annoying is, this isn't the book's fault because the book came first, but there's so many vampire movies that kind of take a lot from Salem's Lot with the relationships and going to find the neighborhood ghoul and what happens. And so it's like I knew what was going to happen. It played out in my mind. What I do really love about Stephen King is he has a really good way of creating genuine male friendships or like male camaraderie, even if they're not friends. I really like the way he does male relationships. Not like a gay thing, but it's just interesting because that's one of the many relationships I see that isn't really dissected much, is the relationship between men and men when it's not anything romantic or, just teammates on the football team. So that was kind of cool. But I guess I'm ready to watch the movie in the old miniseries now, so hooray! But that brings us to 10. We've discussed 10 things that have been released this month. Well, Salem's Lot wasn't released this month, but whatever, it's an old book, it's a classic. Most things have been released this month. Let me know how you feel about any of them, if you've seen any of them. There's some really cool new stuff coming out this week that I'm excited to go over next week. But yeah, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe, give me your recommendations of things that I may have missed. And we will look and see you in the next one. Bye.